have challenges saying no? Just no? If so, this is the video for you. Because if you're feeling overwhelmed, chances are you probably are challenged with saying no. No, I can't do that. No, I'm not going to do that. No, I don't want to do that. So if this is you, if you can relate, hang in with this video. All right, so think about this. Now, everyone is vying for our attention, right? You guys know this. You're on Facebook and ads pop up, depending on whatever it is that you're looking at in social media. The algorithms say, ooh, she looked at shoes. Let's bring up things about shoes. Ooh, she looked at puppies. Let's bring up things about puppies. So things are always vying for your attention, whether it's banners across your page at the bottom, promotions over here, people wanting you to join their groups. But think about this. When all of these people are vying for your attention, it's because they're noticing you, right? Now, some of it's algorithms. Yeah, I'll give you that. But, when people are vying for your attention, that means they're noticing you. They're noticing what you're doing, the posts that you're putting out there. This is part of your success. So if you're thinking like, oh my gosh, I'm doing this stuff every day and, I don't think I'm getting anywhere. Well, people are paying attention. People are noticing. Now, if you don't have the people you want noticing you, that's another topic. But for now, just think, oh yeah, people really are paying attention. They really are noticing me. Okay, so how are they noticing you? How are they trying to bring you in? There's so many challenges going on right now in social media, right? Everyone's got a challenge for something. Do my 5-day challenge for this, do my 5-day challenge for that. And, so everyone thinks, oh, great, in 5 days, I'll be a pro at X, because that's what the promise is. And that's what's really trending right now, to jump in on these challenges. And then you say, okay, I'll do this challenge, or I'll get in on this program. And then people say, okay, so you need to commit for 60 days or 90 days or whatever it is. Then you get text messages, emails, DMs, PMs, and people are saying, hey, remember to go back and do this. And remember, you joined this group, so you committed that you would do this. And you're like, oh my gosh, I'm so overextended. But I really want to do that challenge because I really feel like that's going to give me all the answers. And if I don't do it, then I won't have the answers. And what am I supposed to do? And I feel like such a failure because I'm not following through on anything. And I'm so overwhelmed. And then somebody calls you and says, hey, we need a dozen cupcakes for the classroom, or 4 dozen cupcakes, or someone asks you to take a look at a project and it has nothing to do with you, but they really want your input. And then your husband's vying for your attention, your kids are vying for your attention, your boss is vying for your attention. What about you? Are you vying for your attention? And all because we do not know how to say no. Pure and simple. Okay, so when you are joining all of these challenges because you think that these are going to give you the right answer, we all know that these challenges are set up to get you to a point where you've gotten enough information where you say, oh, okay, now the next step is for me to buy this program, this whatever it is. Okay, we all know that that's where it leads to. So when you are joining these programs, when you're joining these challenges, that's all well and good. It's great. Knowledge is knowledge. It's wonderful. You're getting this information that you are lacking or looking for, and you're applying it. But when you're overextending yourself, when you don't know how to say no, this is where you yourself are putting this into motion to be overwhelmed. You really are. And then you sit back and you're like, oh my gosh, I didn't get my emails done today. I didn't get my newsletter done today. I didn't get, the laundry done today. Whatever it is that you keep saying you don't get done on your to-do list, you're saying it's because you've got all this stuff going on. But the thing is, you're doing it to yourself. Do you see a pattern here? You're doing it to yourself. Whenever we're trying to blame outside experiences for where we are, the only answer, the only one, is to look in the mirror. Because when you are overextending yourself, when you're telling yourself, I don't know X and I don't know Y, and I've got to join this challenge, and I've got to join this group, and I've got to be in here, and I've got to be in the know, and I've got to pay attention to what's going across here, and I've got to look at all my emails, and I've got to do this. When you're telling yourself all of that, when you're overextending yourself, you are creating your own low levels of self. Self-esteem, self-confidence, self-love, self-image, self-worth. You're doing it to yourself. But we don't even realize that, right? Because we're saying, oh, it's because of this, it's because of that, it's because of this. It's never because of something else. It's always because of the choices we make. Always, always. And then if you really take this message to heart and you sit back and you're like, okay, well, I can see where Nancy's right about this. So what can I start eliminating? I'm going to go in and just start deleting all of these groups that I've joined and get out of them. The thing is that we join all of these groups and we want to be part of all of this information that's going on because we haven't really sat down and understood our own core values, our own path, what we're here to do exactly. And when we are not in alignment with who we are from our higher self, when we are not understanding who we are and what we're here to do, then we're always running around like a chicken with their head cut off, looking for something. That's what we do every day. We get in there and we're like, what do I do? What do I do? Where do I go? Where do I start? And we're running around in circle and we feel like we're doing so much, but getting nothing done. And then we label it, right? We say, I'm not good at time management, or I'm not good at whatever the label is that we give it. Do away with the labels. Do away with trying to find a place in your mind to compartmentalize why you're not getting things done. And scale back. Give yourself permission to really scale back. When your sister is asking you to babysit and you're like, oh my gosh, no, I don't want to do that. And then she's trying to remind you of all the things that she's done for you and why you really owe her. And you're allowing yourself to get sucked into that conversation. And you're like, oh my God, she's right. I really need to do this. Why is it so hard for us to say no? Well, the answer to that is because we learned in childhood that no is not an acceptable answer. When you're asked something as a child, very rarely are you given the opportunity to say no and be done with it. So then what happens? As a child, we learn to say no and then give a reason. I'm too tired. I'm too this. I'm too that. I don't understand it. And then we try to find that answer of why no is an acceptable answer. And then we learn how to do that in childhood. And then we bring our child self, our child beliefs, our child understanding of the way the world works with us into adulthood. And we're still doing that because subconsciously, this is what we've learned, how to be the best us that we can be. And when we don't want to do something and someone asks us and we say no, and then we feel like we owe an explanation, and then we give an explanation, and then half the time we lie, right? Because we just don't want to do it. So it's easier to lie than be truthful with ourselves and truthful with other person. So remember, no is a complete sentence. No, just no. And when someone says, well, why? I have learned that that no does not need an explanation. Are you good with that? And then if they still want an explanation, say, I'd be happy to refer you to my sensei if you would like some more information. And give them my information. I'll explain it to them. I'll let them know. And you know what? You could be turning someone on to being empowered themselves, so they stop feeling like they need to keep haranguing you for something. Isn't that wonderful? When you can pass it off to someone else, someone who's teaching this. That way you're not always trying to figure out like, oh my gosh, how am I going to get out of this? How am I going to be the best me that I can be? How am I going to be empowered? All right, so I know that this information is giving you all kinds of thoughts. But remember, information is only powerful when you apply it, right? Knowledge is knowledge, but it's applied knowledge that makes the difference. So what are you going to do with this information? How are you going to take this information about just say no with you throughout the rest of the day and through the rest of your week? Leave me some comments. And if you don't want to comment in the thread here, feel free to DM me. I love that. I love having conversations with you guys. So let me know how you're going to put this into effect. In the meantime, this is Nancy Muller saying ciao for now.